Hello, Anna. Welcome to Singapore.
Thank you, Liping.
Let's talk about the energy transition. Today, we're seeing a new form of transition. Why is that?
Well, I think we have been transitioning from different forms of energy also in the past. You can argue we are still transitioning away from coal at the moment. I think what is different this time is that our time for transition is much compressed. If we want to be net zero by 2050, we really have to make many things happen, and this is a very complex transition because the energy system of today is huge, and we need to make it a balanced transition, making sure we move away from the current energy system to the future one in a balanced way, in a way which is affordable, and in a way also that is ensuring security of supply.
What would you say is the current energy challenge here in Asia?
Half of the population in the world sits in Asia. We see growing demand, and that is probably an opportunity for us to work with our customers, with governments and society to move into a lower carbon future. And if you're thinking about different modes of transport, so what we call the hard to decarbonize sectors like aviation and shipping, we are already working here in Asia with our customer to decarbonize them and to help to move toward the lower carbon future.
So, looking ahead, Anna, what is Shell's approach here for the energy transition in Asia?
Well, it's not different from how we're approaching energy transition anywhere else. We have a target of reaching 50% reduction by 2030. We are already at 60% of that target, so we are doing well. We have also looked into eliminating routine flaring, lowering the methane emissions close to zero. We are tackling this as a company in Shell. We have taken the approach of working with our customer, with governments and regulators to drive the transition forward. It's about playing to our strengths, making sure we make choices around where we can step in and help our customer decarbonize. And that really means working on selling more renewable power, looking at low carbon solutions like biofuel or biogases. And last but not least, we do know that if we want to meet net zero by 2050, we will need also carbon abatement and carbon removal solutions. These are available today, like carbon credits, and to a certain extent, carbon capture and storage. And we will see carbon capture and storage grow over time, but also we will see solutions like direct air capture.
So Anna, how do we win in Singapore?
So we want to build on the existing network we have of customers that we have, for example, in LNG business, or the relationship we have for hard-to-abate sectors like aviation and shipping, or industries like petrochemical, steel, cement, where we do see we need carbon removal solutions like carbon capture and storage to help them decarbonize.
So recently we signed an MOU with ExxonMobil to develop a cross-border carbon capture and storage project here in Singapore. When you look at the regulatory environment here, Anna, are you seeing it emerging and moving towards what will be helpful for us to develop carbon capture and storage projects, as well as other decarbonization solutions here in Asia?
We are not a stranger to carbon capture and storage. We already today have stored 10 million tons of carbon in other projects we have globally. So developing carbon capture and storage here in the region in Southeast Asia is probably a logical step. A logical step because we see that there is a real opportunity to connect and the storage facility with demand in Southeast Asia. And we will build on that experience and really look at Southeast Asia as a hub for capturing the emissions from our customers from different countries and working with governments like the Singapore government here, and then storing these emissions for a very, very long time.
With the cross-border nature of the project, what about the other governments in the region as well when it comes to carbon capture and storage?
Because it's cross-border, it will require a number of governments to also come together to understand what are the rules of the game for this new industry that is being created. So probably these projects are not the easiest one to develop, but at the same time, we must go ahead and do so.
So Anna, you're clearly very passionate about decarbonization. Tell me, what is your personal commitment to decarbonization? What drives you?
This matters to me, it matters to Shell, it matters to our customers, it matters to society. And we want to make sure that we are successful into that net zero target and trajectory. If we work together, companies, customers, governments, society, consumers, we can make it happen.
Absolutely inspiring, Anna. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Li Ping.